Hello everyone, it's Kyle Snow, Certified Leather Care Technician representing Leatherings.com. Today, we're diving into a crucial topic, sewing a patch on leather. 1. Understanding your leather and patch choices. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of sewing, let's talk about the materials you'll be working with. Understanding your leather and patches is key to achieving the best results. The leather. Not all leather is created equal. Some leather jackets, like those made from genuine leather, offer a high-quality surface that's perfect for sewing. Genuine leather is durable, ages beautifully, and provides a strong base for patches. It's what you'll find in many classic leather biker jackets and biker leathers. However, working with leather requires a bit of care. Leather can be stiff, and using the wrong tools or techniques can damage it. That's why it's essential to use a sewing machine that's up to the task. More on that later. Types of patches. There are all kinds of patches out there. Embroidered patches, iron-on patches, custom designs, and more. Each type has its own characteristics. Embroidered patches are classic. They're often thick and can be a bit stiff, making them perfect for jackets, vests, and other outerwear. Iron-on patches have an adhesive backing activated by heat. While these might seem like a quick fix, using heat on leather can be tricky and sometimes disastrous. Excessive heat can damage leather, so you'll need to be careful if you choose this option. Regardless of the type of patch you choose, you'll want to make sure it's made from materials that complement the leather's texture and weight. Lightweight patches may not hold up well on a thick leather jacket, while overly heavy patches might pull and stretch thinner leathers. 2. Getting your tools together. Sewing through leather isn't like sewing through cotton or polyester. Leather is tougher and less forgiving, so you'll need the right tools to do the job. Sewing machine or hand sewing? For sewing patches on leather, you have two primary options: using a leather sewing machine or sewing by hand. Leather sewing machine. If you're serious about sewing patches onto leather or plan to do a lot of it, investing in a machine like the 29-4 TREDLE leather sewing machine can save you a lot of time and hassle. A machine designed specifically for leather will handle the thick, tough material better than a standard sewing machine. But if you don't have access to one, don't worry. You can still use a standard sewing machine with the right setup. Hand sewing. If you're only planning to sew a few patches or prefer a more controlled approach, hand sewing might be the way to go. You'll want to use a curved needle for hand sewing leather. It allows you to maneuver through the material more easily and create a professional finish. Other essential tools. Needles. Use an 18-gauge leather needle or a leather needle designed for sewing through thicker materials. Avoid using regular needles, as they can break or bend. Thread. Opt for polyester thread over cotton threads. Polyester is stronger and more resistant to wear, which is essential for sewing onto leather. Adhesives. For securing patches before sewing, you have a few options: spray adhesive, fabric glue, or leather glue. You can also use double-sided leather quality sticky tape or even Scotch tape to temporarily hold your patch in place. Other tools: a piece of tape to hold down the patch edges, leather scrap for testing, and high-quality leather cleaning products to prep your garment. 3. Prepping your leather garment. Preparation is key to making sure your patch looks great and stays put. Here's what you need to do. Cleaning the leather. Before you start, clean the surface of your leather garment with high-quality leather cleaning products. Dust, dirt, and oils can interfere with adhesives and make it harder for the patch to stay in place. Use a leather cleaner appropriate for your garment and let it dry completely before moving on to the next step, positioning the patch. Decide where you want to place your patch. This is a personal choice and depends on the look you're going for. Some people like to cover their jackets with lots of patches, while others prefer a more minimalist approach. Whatever you choose, make sure the patch is positioned correctly. To hold it in place, use a bit of fabric glue or spray adhesive. Alternatively, you can use a piece of tape or Scotch tape to secure the patch temporarily. For a stronger hold, try double-sided leather quality sticky tape. 4. Sewing your patch. Step by step. Sewing by machine. Set up your machine. If you're using a leather sewing machine or a standard sewing machine capable of handling leather, start by inserting the 18-gauge leather needle and threading it with polyester thread. Test on leather scrap. Always test your machine's settings on a leather scrap to make sure you've got the tension and stitch length right. A wide stitch is ideal for leather, as it reduces the chances of tearing. Position your patch. Place the patch where you want it on the leather garment. Use adhesives or tape to secure it. Start sewing. Begin sewing slowly, keeping a steady hand. Leather doesn't forgive mistakes as easily as other fabrics, so take your time. Follow the edge of the patch, using a wide stitch to ensure the patch is securely fastened without damaging the leather. Finish and secure. Once you've sewn all the way around the patch, tie off the thread securely. Trim any excess thread and check to make sure the patch is securely attached. Sewing by hand. Prepare your needle and thread. Use a curved needle with polyester thread. A curved needle is easier to maneuver through tough leather. Position the patch. Just like with machine sewing, secure the patch using adhesives, tape, or sticky tape. Start hand sewing. Begin sewing at one edge of the patch using a back stitch or running stitch. Be consistent with your stitch length to ensure a neat, professional look. Secure and finish. Once you've sewn all the way around the patch, tie off the thread securely. Trim any excess and double-check that the patch is securely attached. 5. Using adhesives for extra security. Sometimes you might want a little extra security for your patch. Adhesives like leather glue or excellent leather glue can help. Here's how. Apply the glue. Spread a thin layer of leather glue on the back of your patch. Position and press. Position the patch and press it firmly against the leather. Use heavy objects to apply pressure while the glue dries. Sew for security. Even if you use glue, sewing around the edges of the patch will provide additional security. 6. Tips for a professional finish. Avoid excessive heat. Never use excessive heat on leather. If you're tempted to use an iron-on patch, be very careful. Use a low heat setting and place a piece of cloth between the iron and the leather to protect it. Use wide stitches. Leather is less flexible than other materials. Wide stitches distribute tension more evenly, reducing the risk of tearing. Test everything first. Always test your adhesives, stitches, and settings on a leather scrap before working on your actual garment. 7. Caring for your leather garment after sewing. Now that you've attached your patch, you want to keep it looking great for years to come. Here are some tips for maintaining your leather garment. Avoid moisture. Leather and water don't mix well. Keep your jacket or vest dry, and if it does get wet, let it air dry naturally. Clean carefully. Use high-quality leather cleaning products to clean your garment. Avoid getting too close to the patches when cleaning. Store properly. Store your leather garment in a cool, dry place. Avoid folding it or exposing it to direct sunlight for extended periods. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.